Okay, so we're going to talk now a little bit about some really, really easy things. I picked out some really easy stuff for us for the vocal and strumming session, and then it's going to get harder and harder and harder. Okay, you'll notice what I've done here is I've picked. You can see which chords are involved in each song at the end of the title, right? I went through them all today and labeled them with how many chords they were and what the chords were. So we're starting off with some 2-chord songs. We work our way into some 3-chord songs, and then it leaps to 5-chord songs, and then 6 chords, 7 chords, 8 chords, 17 chords. That's Over the Rainbow. So we're going to try to get to Over the Rainbow, but in 6 weeks we might not make it. We'll see. We'll see. And what a wonderful world actually trumps them all at 18 chords. So we'll see. We'll see if we get there. But we've got lots of other fun stuff to learn. So if we don't get there, we can always save it for later after Christmas, right? Okay. So we're starting off with just a 2-chord song here. It's just got F and C7. Okay, and that's it. So just to review what F and C7 are: first finger, first fret on the 2nd string for F, second finger, 2nd fret on the 4th string for that, and then for C7, the easiest one of all the chords, first finger, 1st fret, 1st string, right? And we just go back and forth between those, okay? And let me sing this for you once. It's been a long time since I've done this one, but E hilo e hanakahi Ika hua ka nile hua Awe ke aloha e Kai alam he anuhi Okay, before we even get into like strumming it or anything, I want to talk about Hawaiian and Hawaiian pronunciation. Hawaiian is very similar to Italian in that it uses pure vowels, okay? And so anytime you see the 5 vowels, they're always going to sound the same way anytime you see them, right? So E is always A, I is always E, O is always O. That's the easy one, right? A is always A, Hanakahi, right? So far we have E hilo e, Hanakahi, Ika ua ka. There's the value we haven't had yet. The U is an U, right? Okay, so just like in tulip, so if you think of tulip, it's this exact same thing, right? So Ika ua ka. Ni lehua. Awe ke. So you get the au, right? Awe ke. Aloha e. And then another diphthong here, we have the kai. Ala mea nui e. And that's really all there is to pronouncing Hawaiian. I mean, it's very, very simple. Just like Italian. Italian, very simple to pronounce, okay? Romance language. And it makes for wonderful singing because it's got all these beautiful open vowels. And the translation to that is, I am calling out to Hilo and the land of the chief Hanakahi in a mighty rain that rustles the lehua tree. And you'll find the lehua tree is like a staple in Hawaiian songs. They're always talking about the lehua tree. I am filled with a great love. This is the important thing. Okay, it's a very simple, straightforward song. And I'd like you just to sing it with me, and I will accompany you. Okay, so I am going to sing a phrase, and then you guys sing it with me. Okay, so I'll sing the first phrase, and then you guys come in. E hilo e hanakahi. Your turn. Elohe Hanakahi. My turn. Ikauaka Nilehua. And Ikauaka Nilehua. Awe ke aloha. Your turn. Awe ke aloha. Kai ala mea nui. Your turn. Kai ala mea nui. Now, for the most part, and strum-wise, I'm doing something very simple on this one, and it's just down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, just over and over again. And if I were to write that down, which I can, I will, right? I would use my down symbol, which is borrowed from violin, right? A little space, and then another down, and then a V, which stands for up from violin bowings, right? Okay, and this is standard notation for all stringed instruments, downs and ups, right? And some people like to put down, down, up instead, right? Because, hey, why not? But if you want to know the correct way to do it with those violin bow markings, and you'll be good. Some people are always resistant to learning something new. I get people complaining about that kind of stuff. Like, why do you use all these weird symbols for your down and up markings, you know? And I'm like, guys, it's just, yes, it's called music notation, right? So anyway, so there you go. There's what a down and an up looks like. And it's just that over and over again. It's just down, down, up, down, down, up, down. Now, I'm not really watching people about what they're doing strumming-wise so far, but I need to. Okay? Now, I'm seeing some people strumming a little low. You could try and strum where the neck meets the body of the instrument. This is different than the finger picking. Finger picking, you want to get down here, but for the strumming, you really want to be where the neck meets the body of the instrument. You're going to get a much better sound out of your instrument. And then on your way down with your first finger, if you're using your first finger, you can use your second finger too, if that's preferred. But if you're using your first finger, you want to make sure that you're using nothing but nail on the way down, okay? You should not be hitting the side of your finger at all, okay? And that might mean that you might need to re-angle your ukulele, okay? And I want you to notice what I'm doing strumming-wise here. You'll notice that I am not trying to go straight down across in the direction of the fret wires, because I would have to turn my wrist at a really horrible angle, okay? And so some people try to do this right at the beginning. But you really just strum across, and so it's really, see, I've got my hand in a natural position, and it's just strumming across in a diagonal, just the normal, right? It's like flicking a fly off my strings. And that fly is right there, and I want him gone, right? Okay? And then on the way back up, you just use the pad, and you just come back, and you turn your finger in and point it yourself. Aldrin Guerrero, which is a really famous online ukulele teacher, he doesn't post videos very much anymore. He's sort of used to post tons of videos, but now he doesn't. But he always used to say, point at the ground, and then point at yourself. Point at the ground, point at yourself. And I think that's a really good way to think about it, because on the way back up, you don't just want to be going like this and then keeping your hand in straight. You want to be curling your finger in towards yourself. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And then when we get that into the strum pattern, we're going to skip one of the ups, right? So we're going to go down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. Here we go. Let's try it. 1, 2, and sing. Oh, so somebody strummed on the first one. Okay, we know that you got to notice that the F chord doesn't actually happen until the second note. Okay, and so this is what we call a pickup. And unless you like make up some kind of intro for your song, usually you just start singing first, and then your first chord hits on the first downbeat of the first measure, right? But the pickup note usually doesn't have a chord unless you have some kind of preparatory chord where you go like this. 2, 3. A, he, lo. Do you see what I'm saying?
That's
okay.
dramatic.
Okay. It is pretty dramatic. You're right. So usually we just go in and then here you go. 1, 2, and sing. A, he, lo, hey, Hanukkah, he. Ikahuaka, Nilehua, Awe Kehaloha, Kayalam Hehanui, Right? And usually I like to sing this one twice because it's so short. And honestly, this is one of those songs that's so mellow you could probably sing it 10 times and the audience would just, start to, their eyes would start drooping. And but it's a great first Hawaiian song to learn. So that is our Awa Ke Aloha E. And 2 different chords here. We're gonna. I formatted this for my kids' choir, so I put in beat of the drum, but we're gonna sing Drink of Rum, right? Okay. Work all night on a drink of rum, right? Okay. Because that's the original, and I think it's okay. It can be a rum flavored virgin mocktail, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Rum punch. That's right. Okay, so work all night. Okay, and this one is just C and G7. So C, third finger, third fret on the first string. G7 is first finger, first fret on the second finger, second on the third, and third finger, second on the first. Okay, and so these 2 are another chord pair that's super common, and that's why I do these, the F C7 and the C G7 at the beginning. Okay. And we're just going to sing through this. Hopefully you guys all sort of know this song. And you can kind of do the same thing, except I'm going to say let's try it with a Chattanooga strum. So Chattanooga strum's like this. It's just down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Except you go Chattanooga, Chattanooga. So every second and fourth beat, you give a little bit of an accent. Work all night on a drink of rum. Daylight come and me wanna go home. Let's try it together. Here we go. 1, 2, beginning, and work all night on a drink of rum. Daylight come and me wanna go home. Stack banana till the morning come. Daylight come and me wanna go home. Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and me wanna go home. Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and me wanna go home. Dang! Oh, my pedal quit on me. Where is my pedal? Why isn't it working? Ah. Yes, 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 yes. It's like trying to reconnect. Bluetooth, where are you? Yes, I want the Bluetooth music pedal paired. Thank you. It just like lost it for a second there. Sometimes it does that when I have the screencasting on. Sorry about that. Okay, next week I won't have screencasting. Next week I'll have my cable in, and we'll be using this other computer here. So, all right, let's take it from day 1, 2, ready, and day. Me say day, oh, daylight come and me wanna go home. Day, me say day, oh, daylight come and me wanna go home. 5 foot, 6 foot, 7 foot bunch. Daylight come and me wanna go home. 5 foot, 6 foot, 7 foot bunch. Daylight come and me wanna go home. Right, okay? And that one's easy enough, okay? And some of these I just chose because I knew we wouldn't have to spend any time on them, and we could just go sing them for people and they would be happy to hear it, right? Okay. We might add some vocal harmonies to that one though, so which will be really fun. It's kind of really cool with all that kind of Caribbean. Here is another Hawaiian song. This one again just uses F and C7. I am going to skip it this week, but if you want to look through it and sort of look at all the words, because you can see that this one's got lots more words. Kauano mai ana iau la na kula paka ua elo la, right? Okay, do you see what I'm saying? Okay, so I can sing it better than I can say it. Kauano mai ana iau la na kulu paka ua elo la, right? Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, so you want to sort of mouth your mouth around, get your mouth wrapped around those words a little bit this week. That'd be a good thing to do. Okay, it seriously is just those five vowels, right? Okay, all right. I thought this would be a fun one to do. Another one that's everybody knows and won't be too hard for us to put together. Surfin' USA. And this one, we've got our G7 and our C combined with our F. And we've already talked about all of these chords. What's fun to do with this one is to do a different kind of a strum pattern, okay? And if you start working on it now, you'll feel good about it by the time 6 weeks rolls by, okay? So, down, right? Now P stands for thumb. Okay, then up, and then down, and then thumb, and then up, and then down, up. So it's down, thumb, up, down, thumb, up, down, up. Okay. Now this is something that took me some time. Okay, when I first learned this. Okay, this is some people call this a ragtime strum. Because when you do it, it has that kind of ragtime sound to it. Let me demo. You can hear that sort of jangly syncopation right in the middle, okay? And so it's ya da 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 da, right? Okay. So let me see. If everybody had an ocean across the USA, then everybody'd be surfing like California. You'd see them wearing the baggy Huarache sandals too. A bushy blonde hairdo, surfing USA. See how that works? You only have to do one measure of it at a time, right? So it's down, thumb, up, down, down. And that down for the next measure is a staccato, right? And we just cut it off. So try this strum with me really slow, okay? Because this is what we know as a triplet strum, where we go down, thumb, up, and then we follow it with one regular down, up, right? So 2 triplets and 1 duple strum, okay? But we don't change the timing on them, okay? So here we go. Ready, and...
Are we playing F?
Yeah, I'm on a G7, because that's where our first chord happens. Ready, and... down, thumb, up, down, thumb, up, down, down. And that last down is the staccato. It's not notated on there, okay? That's the one that happens in the next measure. Here we go. Ready, and down, thumb, up, down, thumb, up, down, up, down. Have I taught this? Have you learned this strum before, Kelsey?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Similar to others.
It's been a long time since I've used this one. Okay, here we go. Ready, and down, thumb, up, down, thumb, up, down, up, down. 2, 3. Now to C chord. Down, thumb, up, down, thumb, up, down, up, down. 2. Back to G7 and down, thumb, up, down, thumb, up, down, up, down. Now we're to C again. Ready, down, thumb, up, down, thumb, down, up, down. This time we're going to F. Ready, and down, thumb, up, down, thumb, up, down, up, down. 2, 3, 4, and C. 2, 3. Now G7. F. Okay, now that's the tricky one, and it happens on the page turn. Okay, so let's try that one again. It's like this. Just listen. Right? So we have just the F on the very last down. Okay? Here we go. Ready, and down, thumb, up, down, thumb, up, down, up, down. 2, 3, 4, and C. 2, and then we get into it's all the same from there on, okay? Basically, this is, it's not a blues, but it's very similar to a blues song, okay? It was written by Chuck Berry. You would think it was written by the Beach Boys, by Brian Wilson, but it was actually written by Chuck Berry, and Chuck Berry was a big blues man. And he's like, I've written this surfing song. I'm sure this is how it went. I've written this surfing song. Maybe I should have the Beach Boys do it instead of doing it myself, right? They must have known him. For them to, because this is one of their huge hits, you know? Anyway, so let's try this, really, that tempo, and we'll sing. But if you can't sing and play at the same time, concentrate on the strumming for now, okay? Okay, here we go. 1 and 2 and... If everybody had an ocean across the USA, then everybody'd be surfing like California. You'd see them wearing the baggies, Huarache sandals too, a bushy blonde hairdo, surfing USA. You'll catch 'em surfing at Del Mar, Ventura County line, Santa Cruz and Trestles, Australia's Narrabri, all over Manhattan on down Doheny Way. Everybody's gone surfing, surfing USA. We'll all be planning out a route we're gonna take real soon. We're waxing down our surfboards. We can't wait for June. We'll all be gone for the summer. We're on safari to stay. Tell the teacher we're surfing, surfing USA. At Haggerty's and Swami's, Pacific Palisades, San Onofre and Sunset, Redondo Beach, LA, all over La Jolla, at Waimea Bay. Everybody's gone surfing, surfing USA. Right? Okay. Got it? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, in the middle where it says you'll catch them surfing at Del Mar, right there, we will probably change to a different strum pattern. But I don't want to worry you about that right now. So just practice it with the one you've got. We will probably switch to something like a Chattanooga strum at that point, or I might even add in a chunk strum, okay? Because it's nice to have some contrast, because you'll catch them surfing at Del Mar, Ventura County line. I think we'll probably go for a Chattanooga in that second half, but for right now, just worry about that strum that I've written in there, okay? And that won't be written in on the music you have, so be sure to write it on from the video, okay? So write it down, and if you need to bring something to take notes with, it's not your music, you could try that for next week too. Then you could just write down some of these things. All right. Aloha oi. Got 3 different chords now. So we've got the G. Okay. We've done the G before. We've done the C, but we haven't done the D7. There are 2 ways to do D7. Okay. One of them is to bar across the 2nd fret, and then put your second finger on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. The other way is the lazy way.
And I'm lazy. I'm lazy. I like that one.
Okay, is the 2nd fret, 0 fret, 2nd fret, 0 fret, right? Okay, and whichever fingers you end up using on that, I usually use my 2nd and 3rd finger on that when I do that one. Some people call this the Hawaiian D7 because it's so often used in the Hawaiian turnaround, which is a really famous chord progression that they use at the beginnings and ends of songs. There's that, and that's it. It's all G, C, and D7. This whole thing. I'm not gonna worry you about the finger picking right now, and I'm not gonna worry you about the Hawaiian yet. So let's just sing the English version, and Queen Lily, I can't say her whole name, but she wrote this. She's got one of those really long names, and I just can't say it. What was that?
It starts with a K.
Well, it's Lily, you know, and yeah. If you can do it, bless your soul. I can say Israel Kamakaviva Ole.
Wow.
Right, and that's but I always have had a harder time with her name. Anyway, she was the last reigning monarch of Hawaii before the U.S. absconded it and put her under house arrest and forcibly took over the country. She sang, yeah, those Americans, jeez. And then but she wrote all this wonderful music, tons of music. This is not the only song she wrote. She has a whole catalog of music. And this is, of course, her most famous one. And she actually wrote the English words as well as the Hawaiian version. So this isn't like some weird, like, Americanized version of it. It's her version, right? Proudly swept the rain by the cliffs, as on it glided through the trees, still following ever the liko, another tree, the lehua of the vale. And there's that lehua again, that lehua tree I told you about, right? Vale. And then the chorus. Farewell to thee, farewell to thee, thou charming one who dwells among the flowers, one fond embrace, ahoy, until we meet again. Right? Okay, so let's try it together. Just do your best with sort of a thumb strum, because it takes the least bit of concentration, so you can concentrate on the other stuff that's going on. So proudly swept. Here you go. 1 and 2 and go. Proudly swept the rain by the cliffs, as on it glided through the trees, still following ever the liko, of the vale. Farewell to thee, farewell to thee, thou charming one who dwells among the flowers, one fond embrace, ahoy, until we meet again. Fairly easy. Any questions? Okay. So what I like to do on this one, you notice that I put a little bit of finger picking up at the top. And so this is 1, 4, 2, 3 finger picking. This is accomplished with just 2 fingers. Okay, you're only going to use your index finger and your thumb. And it's really simple. You do the outer strings first, index, thumb, and then you do the inner strings, index, thumb. So 1, 4, 2, 3, 1, 4, 2, 3. Yes, Ray.
Your fingering says 3, 2.
It's wrong.
Okay.
It's 1, 4, 2, 3.
It should be 1, 4, 2, 3. That's a typo. Okay, so thanks for catching that. Yeah, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 4, 3, 2. That would be much more hard. Okay, we're not going to do that. Okay, so that is 1, 4, 1, 4, 3, 2. You'd have to do one per. You'd have to do one per. No, we're going to do the easy version of that. Okay. Okay, so 1, 4, 2, 3. 1, 4, 2, 3. 1, 4, 2, 3. Outer strings, inner strings. Outer strings, inner strings. Index, thumb, index, thumb. Index, thumb, Okay, let's try it. Now you'll notice that I put when we get to aloha or farewell to thee, right? I put in jungle drum strum, and that's down, down, up, down, just bum, ba-dum, bum. Okay, so when you get to there, we'll switch to that. Okay? All right. So 1, 4, 2, 3, not 3, 2. Here you go. Starting with the G chord. Proudly 1 and 2 and proudly swept the rain by the cliffs as on it glided through the trees, still following ever the lead go. The Helio of the vale, farewell to thee, farewell to thee, thou charming one who dwells among the flowers, one fond embrace before I depart, until we meet again. Right? Okay, questions? Fairly easy, right? Yes? No. No.
Questions.
Okay.
Okay, where the change mid
Yes.
measure. That's
Okay.
tricky. The C to the D, for
Okay.
example, on that top one.
So where it
Longer
changes the strums. Okay, now I stopped before then. So I didn't explain that, and I should have. But let me just go from that line, that top line right there. Ah, Helio of the vale, farewell to thee. So I end on 1. So I'm going 1, 4, 2, 3, 1,
Okay.
and then I just stop on that
Okay.
and give myself a break to give me a chance to switch over to the strumming. Okay, and that's a really good question. Any other questions on this one? Okay. We'll sing it, of course, more, but I'm just trying to introduce you to a bunch of stuff today, okay? We'll worry about... we're back to Jamaica Farewell. Okay. So, on this one, I need to teach you a new strum, okay? You guys, oh, come on, you guys, this is great. You'll love this,
My
okay?
head's spinning. I've never learned strumming. So
Okay.
I'm learning like.
Okay, well, let me
20
write it
now.
down because writing it down always makes it easier to see it. Okay, and so I wrote calypso strum up there. But if you're gonna see what a calypso strum looks like, it looks like this. Got down, space, down, up, space, up, down, up. Now, if you want to get really fancy with it, you go down, space, roll, or drag, up, up, down, up. Okay? And so that's 2 different ways to do it. Now, the first way is actually just the most popular strumming pattern in the world. Okay? Almost everybody learns this strumming pattern at some point in their lives, and there's even T-shirts that you can see this strumming pattern on, right? Okay, but it's basically this. It's down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Now, what makes it more calypso-like is to put that roll on the second beat. And you can do it 2 ways. One of them is you can do a 4-finger roll. I don't recommend that right now because if you're just starting, maybe the more advanced players try it, okay? But to learn a roll, you really have to just sort of get your fingers used to rolling out in the wrong direction. And so usually we're used to opening our hand up from the index to the pinky, but this is opening your hand up from the pinky to the index. And so it's really useful to just actually just do this all on its own, right? And if you don't do this, what you end up with is you end up getting kind of this, you kind of do them all at once, right? But what you really want to do is roll them out, right? It took me a lot of time to get that down. There's an easier way to do it though for this strum, and that's called a drag, okay? And so instead of doing a full 4-finger roll, you can just drag your finger across the string, right? And so you go down, drag up, up, down, drag up, down, drag up, down. And it gives you that little flourish. There are other ways to accomplish this effect too. I know Sarah Meitzel teaches a different way to do it than I do it. But Sarah Meitzel came to our festival some years ago, and since then, when she came to our festival, she wasn't famous, but now she's like famous in the ukulele world. She like teaches like ukulele cruises with her husband, Craig Chi, who also came and performed at our festival. So we had Sarah Meisel one year, and then we had Craig Chi the next year, and then the next year, and they weren't together. And then the next year they got married. You know, it's like, we did it, right? You know? But no, I'm sure they just met each other at festivals and stuff, but they make a really great team, and they teach like all over the place now. Okay, so let's try this, okay? We got our D chord, we got our G chord, we got our A7. We haven't talked about A7 yet, but A7 is super easy. It's just it's just any finger on the first fret of the third string. It depends on what finger you're going from. So if I was going from a D this way, I'd use my first finger. If I'm going from a G this way, I use my second finger. If I'm going from a D this way, I usually use my second finger too, because it means I don't have to pick my first finger up and get over here. I can just kind of slide down and put my finger down. So what finger you're going to use on the A7 depends a lot on what chord is around it. Okay? Let's try this very slow. Okay? Just on the chords. Don't even worry about singing it or anything. We're just going to try this down, drag, up, down, up, and then you'll change chords. And almost everything is one measure, except sometimes you have D for 2 measures. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and D. To G. To A7. Back to D. And we stay on D. D. To G. Drag up. Down, up, A7, back to D, D, A7, stay, A7, back to D, D, A7, D, A7, D. Right? Okay, now that's the hardest part, is the last 2 measures. So listen to this, okay? I didn't do it right, okay? I'm going to try and do it right this time, okay? Right?
One more time.
Yes, I'm going to do it again, okay? So I'm going down, drag, up, change, up, drag, down, drag, up, down, and a final up, down. And I don't do the up, down, up again at the end, right? Okay, let me do it again. Ready, on, down, drag, up, change, up, down, drag, up, down. Right? Okay, try it with me. Last 2 measures. 1, 2, ready, and down, drag, up, change, up, down, drag, up, down. It's hard, isn't it? It's hard. It's hard to make a change in that empty spot. Do you know what I mean? Trust me, I know. I didn't pick up the ukulele until about 9 years ago, right? 9 years ago. So before then I played bass guitar for a couple of years. And I was just like, bass guitar, it's just impossible to do anything like solo with voice and bass guitar. I tried it a couple times, and I was like, this just isn't working. And so then I listened to Jake Shimobukuro's While My Guitar Gently Weeps, and that had become recently viral around that time. And I was like, the ukulele is a real instrument, and he did amazing things, and I want to learn how to do that. So I never became his style of a player, though. So I'm more of a vocalist, right? And he never sings. So, but let's do that again. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and down, drag up, down, drag up, down. Right, let's do the whole thing. Let's try it with a little bit of singing this time. If you can't, don't worry about it. I'll carry the tune, don't worry. But I'm not going to call it chord names this time. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and down away across the ocean spray, where the sun shines brightly on the mountain top. I took a trip on a sailing, and when I reached Jamaica, I made a stop, and I'm sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a day. My heart is down, my head is spinning around. I have to leave a little girl in Kingston town. Right? Again? Okay, let's do it again. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and down away across the ocean spray, where the sun shines brightly on the mountain top. I took a trip on a sailing ship, and when I reached Jamaica, I made a stop, and I'm sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a day. My heart is down, my head is spinning around. I have to leave a little girl in Kingston town. Right? Okay? So, yeah, it's hard to think about that. I did it too last time. I added the extra up, down thing, right? Okay? But on the last time, you want to make sure that you don't do that because it makes a better stop. And so just try that, leave a little girl in Kingston town, and you're actually going to do your last strum on the 4th beat of that last measure. Here we go. I have to, 1 and 2 and I have to leave a little girl in Kingston town. Right, and make it staccato. So staccato, you're going to strum across, and then you're going to put your hand on your strings. Right? Okay, one more time. 1, 2, and go. I have to leave a little girl in Kingston town. And then we go to the second verse. Sounds of laughter. Here we go. Ready, and sounds of laughter are everywhere, and the dancing girls are swaying to and fro. I must declare that my heart is there, though I've been from Maine to Mexico, and I'm sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a day. My heart is down, my head is spinning around. I have to leave a little girl in Kingston town. Right, yeah. Okay, so that's a really fun one, and I'm hoping to add some vocal harmonies to that as well, because those kinds of ones, that one and Deo will be particularly fun with that. And plus, there's that middle verse we talked about in the instrumental section, right? So, right, okay. All right. Does anybody know this one?
Yeah.
We were sailing along on Moonlight Bay. We could hear the voices ringing. They seemed to say, you have stolen my heart. Now don't go away. As we sing old love sweet song on Moonlight Bay. I totally messed up the ending there. Okay, so as we sing love's old sweet song on Moonlight Bay. Okay, now I'm going to teach you some alternate chords on this one because I hate B flat. I hate B flat. So I'm going to teach you a couple of alternate version things that you can do that will probably work on this song. Let me check. I know one will work. Let me check to see if the other one will. Long on moonlight. Yep, it will. Okay. So there's two alternate chords. Whenever you don't want to do a B flat, sometimes there's absolutely no choice. You just have to do the B flat. You just have to. But oftentimes you can substitute one of two very beautiful chords. One of them is a G minor 7. Now, a G minor 7 is like a B flat, except you don't have the 4th string. So you're going to bar across the 1st and 2nd strings on the 1st fret, and then you're going to put your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and that's it. That's the G minor 7. Okay? And another version of the G minor 7 is to take a G chord and shift it all the way up to the 5th fret. And that is also a G minor 7. Right? So there's this one, or there's this one.
Which fret did you say?
5th fret. So take a G chord and slide it up 1, 2, 3 frets, and it'll be on the 5th fret. Right? Slide it all the way up to the 5th fret. And then strum across all 4 strings, and you've got that G minor 7 sound. Okay? And for my more advanced people, I probably want you to do the higher inversions. So the F chord up here, the G minor 7, or the B flat add 9 up here, right? One of those two. Okay, now the other alternate chord that you can choose, and these actually sound good together, so we can have some people playing one and some people playing the other, and it won't really make a difference, okay, is the B flat add 9 chord. And this is a chord that James Hill, anybody know James Hill? James Hill's a fantastic Canadian player. I think of him as being the 2nd most famous ukulele player in the world. I may be wrong, but I think it's true. He is a fantastic instrumentalist, but he's also a vocalist, and that's something you don't see a lot on the really good players. A lot of them are just instrumentalists, like Jake Shimabukuro, Kalai, Gamiao, Corey, Fujimoto. All these guys, they're really great players, but they don't sing, right? If you want to be an instrumentalist, those are the guys to emulate, right? Because they're fantastic, right? The thing I like about James Hill, though, is that he is a great instrumentalist, but he also can sing really great, too. And he actually performs with his wife, Anne, who is an amazing cellist. So they do ukulele, voice, and cello together.
Wow.
And it is a fantastic combination. And it has actually been mimicked by a couple of other artists out there. And anyway, the reason I'm telling you about James Hill is because he calls this the don't lift a finger set of chords. So if you make an F chord, and then you put your pinky on the 3rd fret of the 1st string where you would have a C chord, right? Okay, now you've got your F chord. Now lift your F chord off and leave your pinky there. And you've got your C chord, right? And then for your B flat add 9, you're just going to put your fingers down 1, 2, 3 in a row, in diagonal, 1st fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, and there's your B flat add 9 chord. Okay? There are so many songs that you can play with these 3 chords, okay? So you got your F, that's your home bass chord. You got your B flat add 9, that's your subdominant, if you want to use technical speech. And then you got your dominant chord is your C. So you've got your 3 most important chords in any key, just about, unless you're in a minor key. You got your F, your C, your B flat add 9, and then you're back to your F. And this works so well. Anytime you see a song in F, anytime I see a song in F, I check it to see if I can use these 3 chords because they're so cool sounding, right? Now listen to what happens. I'm going to sing the first phrase with the chords that are written first. We were sailing along on moonlight banks. That's nice. We could hear the voices ringing. It's nice, but listen to what happens when I use these alternate chords, okay? We were sailing along on moonlight bay. Did you hear how that pops? We could hear the voices ringing. Right? It really works nice. It's very beautiful, especially like the B flat add 9. It's such a pretty chord. So pretty. Now the alternate version of B flat add 9 is to bar across the 5th fret. Okay, I'm going to teach you the inversions on all these, okay? So first one is, I should start with the F. F is like a D chord up on the 5th fret. So if you do bar across the 5th fret and then put your pinky on the 8th, then you've got an F chord up in its upper inversion, okay? And then you're going to take your pinky off, and then you're going to put your second finger on the second fret up from your first finger on the 2nd string. So that's actually going to be on the 6th fret, right? Okay. And then for the C chord, if you're going to do the inversion, you actually have to go up here, and this is a hard one. You have to go up to the 7th fret, and then you keep that finger there, right above it on the 8th fret, but then you have to add your 3rd finger on the 9th fret of the 4th string. Now that one's tough. You don't have to do that one to take advantage of these other 2 chords. You can actually go from here to here to here, and you're fine, right? You don't have to stay up in the inversions to use some of the inversions. But for those of you like you and you, you can do this inverted F, I'm sure. I mean, inverted C. But there is another inverted C, and that's like a B flat right here. Right? Okay. I need to tune, but I will. We're probably running out of time. Yeah, we're running out of time. So I will tune afterwards. Okay. So try this with me with the F, the B flat add 9, and the C in place of the C7. Okay. So try this don't lift a finger set of chords. And of course the pinky is the finger that you don't move. It just stays there the entire song. Okay. Okay, so we don't start playing until long. Okay? And we only get 1 beat before we start singing. So it's ready and go. We were singing along on moonlight bay. We could hear the voices ringing. They seemed to say, you have stolen my heart. Now don't go away. As we sing love's old sweet song on Moonlight Bay. And I was just making stuff up as far as the strumming goes. We'll choose something that isn't too crazy. Okay, I promise. But what I wanted to introduce you to on this set was those alternate chords that you can use. Now you can use the regular chords if you want, and they will actually mix in with the other chords that we just played perfectly fine. Or you can play the G minor 7 in place of the B flat, and you'll be perfectly fine with that as well. And it doesn't matter. You can play any of those together with the rest of the group, and it will be fine. It's a matter of choice and preference of what you want to do. So that's all we have time for tonight. Do you guys have any questions for me? I know it was a lot to cover, and I went super fast, but I thought that was okay because I videotaped the whole thing, right? So if you have like something that you want to go back and review, you can just sort of scan through the video and find what it was, you know? Okay. Any questions? Okay. So I'm going to actually post this first video up and see if we can get a few more players in by posting the video and see if there's some other people interested in coming and joining us. Okay. And so don't be surprised when I post this on Facebook or something, because I'm going to. Okay. So you don't need to worry. People will go like, ah, that's so cool. Okay. All right. All right.